This is the WDW Fan Zone Show. I'm Stuart, joined by Kurt, Darlene, Jess, and Lottie. And tonight, we've got a lot of news coming out of the world of Disney, and Jess is going to get to it for us right now.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to say the boring thing first because there's a big reveal coming up. Soarin' Around the World has been updated recently, and guests who have seen it before will be most excited. The Eiffel Tower no longer looks crooked if you're sitting in sections A or C. So if you know, because you have to sit in the middle, unless if you didn't, then the Eiffel Tower looked like this. Just ruined the illusion. So anyway, and then there's a new Epcot scene at the end. I certainly am excited to check this out. All right, here's the big stuff. If you haven't heard yet, Monsters Inc. Land was announced at this summer's D23 event, but until Friday, we didn't know where it was going, and we very much speculated about possible places. However, now it's been confirmed that it will be taking over Muppets Courtyard and replacing all that is there: Muppet Vision 3D, Pizza Rizzo, Mama Melrose, and Stage One Company Store. Disney noted that they are exploring ways to preserve the film of Muppet Vision 3D and other parts of the experience for fans to enjoy in the future, which could mean a lot of things. But I'm sure you guys will talk about that in a little bit. But the Muppets won't be leaving Hollywood Studios. They will be moving over to Retheme Rock and Roller Coaster, where they will team up with some of music's biggest stars for a Rockin' Music Festival. Expect closures to start over the next few months, but no dates have been given yet. It has also been announced that the Monsters Inc. Land will include a show replacing Muppet Vision 3D, but no details have been given yet. That is all for the crazy big news. I have one more tiny piece of news here. The holidays are taking over at Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar, currently called Jock Lindsay Holiday Bar. It is the only holiday themed bar at Disney. Check it out at Disney Springs. Don't forget to check park hours before planning your trip, and check again once you arrive to see if they've changed. And especially during the holiday season, they like to extend hours. So if you checked them months ago, it might be different. It probably is different now. So please check those before you arrive. And the Walt Disney World area is expecting sunny skies and temperatures sticking around the 80s until Thanksgiving. But then be prepared for cold early next week. Highs in the low 60s and lows in the 40s will surely bring a chill to your Disney Christmas touring. It'll feel like home if you're not from here. And that's the latest Disney news straight to you from Central Florida. Back to you, Stuart.
Thank you, Jess. I want to wish you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving, as I know you're going to drop
Happy Thanksgiving.
intent to your guests. So.
Yes, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and I'll see you real soon.
Bye, Jess.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye.
All right. So that's pretty big news. And we actually had a different topic for tonight. And I'm so glad this news came out because it actually is more interesting than we were going to discuss. I didn't find out about it until late this morning. And the reason for that was I was traveling this weekend and I just had my phone with me, but I just wasn't looking at the news. I was, spending time with a lot of family that I haven't seen in a while, and for good reasons. And I just didn't hear about it. So it was fresh for me this morning, and I still haven't had enough time to digest it. So, I think Darlene in our pre-show had mentioned the same thing. She didn't know about it too until today. So, it's a little fresh for a couple of us. Lottie, how do you feel about this whole thing? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Oh, I found out about it on Friday, so I've been pretty pumped all weekend, and the kids are super excited about the change. Charlotte has made her opinion well known.
So is this a positive move for you and your kids, or any?
We're gonna miss Muppet Vision 3D. That was one of Candace's favorite rides, and she's a little sad to see it go, but she knows that whatever replaces it will probably be a great show. She's not into coasters at all, so she doesn't really care that it's going to Muppets Will Retheme Rock and Roller Coaster, but Charlotte and Ava are absolutely thrilled, and so am I. I just cannot wait for the Electric Mayhem soundtrack to be blaring through the stretch
Oh,
limits
right.
because it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Kurt, how about you? How have you digested all this? And
I don't know if I could digest Rainbow Connection on Rock and Roller Coaster, so I'm hoping they're not going that direction.
Yeah.
So it's bittersweet. When you see the plans for what they're putting in there, it fits, unfortunately. But you're taking away a family attraction and throwing them onto a roller coaster that not everyone wants to go on, as Lottie just stated. So it would be nice. I know they're getting rid of that Cars attraction that's behind there. It would be nice if maybe once that villain, it was a temporary villains attraction coming in. Once that goes out, once they get the villains land in the Magic Kingdom, maybe they could slide in the attraction over there into that area. Knock on wood. Otherwise, it looks exciting. Just talked about another attraction going in where the Muppet Vision attraction is, and a couple people were saying, judging by the way it looked on the drawings that they were giving, it almost looks like it's Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor that might go in there, which would be interesting if they put that in there. What new is going to come to Tomorrowland then? So we're opening up a big basket of worms if we're actually going in that direction, which I think would be a great idea. It wouldn't take much to move it over there.
all right, Darlene, how about yourself? Now that you've found out about it, what's your first thoughts?
You know, one of my first thoughts is I have to go to Mama Melrose before it closes and check it out because I've never eaten there.
Oh, you have to.
So that's going to be one of my big things. But we go to Muppets 3D. It's an overflow show. To see something new in there will be great. I think this is going to be a good move because we needed more in Hollywood Studios. And I know they've wanted to switch out Rock and Roller Coaster for a while. And I think with what they're planning on doing, I think this is going to make it a newer, more adventurous for the younger crowd. I think they had a lot of like diehard Aerosmith fans going. I think this will make it more interesting for other family members to go.
Yeah. When I first learned of this today, I was like, wow, they're really doing that? I thought Muppet Vision 3D was one of those timeless attractions that would never go away. I mean, it's been there since it was May 16th, 1991 when it officially opened.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, for the last couple of years that I've been going to the parks, that was one attraction. Every time you look at the wait times, it was always 10 minutes or less. Most of the time it was 5 minutes, and it was never at capacity. That doesn't mean that it won't get to capacity busier times of the year, but yeah, I haven't seen it at full capacity in quite a while. So I kind of understand where they're going with that. I really thought, and maybe it was wishful thinking, that Monsters Inc. Land or Monsters Land, whatever they're calling it, would have gone in the courtyard in Hollywood Studios. I mean, that made the most sense to me, but I understand why they're putting it where they're putting it. Losing Mama Melrose, I think, is a big loss for Disney too. It's one of the few Italian restaurants in the parks that is a can't miss. I mean, it's always good. And, well, you have Via Napoli in Epcot, along with the other Italian restaurant, whose name is evading me for now. And then
Tutto Italia.
Yeah, Tutto Italia. That's right. And then you've got Tony's.
Mm-hmm.
At Tony's Town Square, which is improved.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're losing Mama Melrose. Maybe they'll relocate it. Maybe that could go into the courtyard.
How do we know it's not going to be a new Italian restaurant?
We don't. And you're absolutely right.
Because it's going to be Harryhausen. Sounds Italian-ish. I mean,
They could have there's probably going to be a Monsters Inc. related restaurant of some sort with crazy
That's-
food.
Yeah.
along with-
It's Harryhausen,
Harry
which is a
Housen. That's
high-end.
what's in the-
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Where I could see if they're preserving Muppet Vision 3D, I can see that going over to Epcot to the Imagination Pavilion next to the attraction there where the Mickey shorts are playing right now. I agree with Kurt
Pixar-
that it would be very interesting to see if they move, because there is going to be a show there that, you know, from looking at the drawings, and I'd be very interested to see if it is going to be the laugh floor, because I think that would be a perfect place for it, which would open up something interesting in Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping Kurt's right about that.
Something's going to go in there. It never had a long wait, but it was always at least a third, if not half full. And you're
Correct.
always going to have at least, I'm trying to look up how long the show is. 10-minute standby, it means it's a 10-minute show.
Mm-hmm.
It will never be less than a 10-minute standby
Mhm.
unless you're walking in
Yeah.
unless it's almost showtime. So if you see it only as a 5-minute wait, that means it's starting in 5 minutes because it's
Yeah.
continuous.
You know, another thing that kind of troubles me a little bit about what they're doing. Don't get me wrong. I love bringing Monsters Inc. land in, but you're losing an attraction now, and
Yes.
Hollywood Studios desperately needs attractions. For all there is there, it's still missing other attractions to make it more of a full day park. You know, waiting online, because that's just how it is there, to get everything in a full day isn't the way Disney needs to go. If that makes any sense. Probably didn't say it right, but
They could move it to the animation courtyard.
they could.
They could retheme something over there. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, it's not my money spending it. Well, actually, it's my money spending in doing that. But
Yeah,
they
I
need
think
something there.
They do, and I think Muppets for Rock and Roller Coaster is a good choice. A Muppets themed roller coaster. Don't know that I'll ever go on it if the track doesn't change. I mean, I got sick, very sick, going on it the first time, because when I can't do anything with spins. Oh God.
I think it's a safe bet, right? When you put your,
Yeah.
you know, your money on a actual person and not intellectual property.
Mhm.
If that person or that band or whatever it is decides to go sideways, or you find out they did something stupid, then you know
Well,
you got a
when was
rock named
Yeah.
after them.
when was Aerosmith's heyday? A couple of
70s.
decades ago.
Before I
80s.
was born, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time for a change. Overdue. It's overdue for a time for a change. Taking nothing away from Aerosmith, who was a great rock band.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a perfect choice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Now
do too.
they've already. I mean, they're retired. Steven
Yeah.
Tyler. There's just no voice left. They are retired.
Yep.
It's time to move on.
Yeah, you know, it's sad to see some of these, because I grew up with a lot of these rock bands, and it's sad to see some of them retiring or unable to perform anymore. I mean, one of my favorite bands was Southside John and the Asbury Jukes, and they're still great, but he's gotten to the age where, you know, it's not any fault of his own. It's just he can't carry the show the way his voice can't carry the show the way it used to. It's still there, but it's not as strong as it once was. And that's not a knock on him. That's just aging naturally. And there were others too. And you know, one example of somebody who's still got it, 84 years old, Gary U.S. Bonds. My God, guy is great. He is phenomenal. And if anybody hasn't seen him yet, you have to. Still performing. So, you know, you have some people who've had to step away or slowed down, or they're still out there trying. And maybe it's not the best they've ever given, but it's still great to see them.
Well, it helps to have the background, as Phil Collins said in the Genesis concert. I'd like to thank the boys in the back for hitting the high notes that I can't get to anymore.
Yeah, you know, that's
So
a good
where you need
example
the
too.
help.
Phil Collins is another good example. You know, it's
Yeah.
unfortunate with what's
Mhm.
happened with him. But, you know, I think it's time Disney made the change there.
Yeah. Speaking of unfortunate, if they clear out all of that area, Kurt, isn't that where you take a family picture every year?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you know what? My kids broke the tradition last year, and they were like, "No." I was heartbroken. So yeah, the snowman. If the snowman goes, maybe they'll replace it with a monster snowman. We can only hope.
So the thing that I think is really cool about these park changes, while I'm very aware of what's going on, is I'm going to be able to spot all of the callbacks and the Easter eggs to the area when they redo Monsters Inc. And I can put like I recognize that they brought that
Yeah.
back, and oh, look at this over here. I already know the fan service is going to be great, and so I'm going to enjoy exploring and finding all
Mhm.
the Easter eggs and the hidden Mickeys, and that's the best part of the retheming. I think is just to uh, uh, give the fans their due
Yeah.
by plugging in all these really cool things that nobody else is going to spot except the diehard fans.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also think it's great for all us Uber Disney fans to have something new to look forward to. It's I think the parks for a while got a little well. I'm going to take back what I was going to say. I think the parks slowed down because of things that were happening in the world too much, and now we're starting to see these changes come about a little quicker. At least I hope they will. But changes to me, change is always good. Yes, you're sorry to see some things go, some old time classics or favorites, but what they're replacing with is exciting and it's new adventures, new experiences. And I think we should all embrace it because Disney rarely makes a mistake. They do make mistakes, they're not perfect, but they're few and far between when it comes to attractions.
And I lied. I just looked. My son did take his picture with a snowman, so now I am upset. Hopefully, it's not shut down by the summer, so we can actually get one last photo over there.
Maybe they'll put an Olaf somewhere for you.
It's not the same. It's got to
Right.
be this snowman.
I
They'll
know.
repaint him green or blue. So, or they'll put the abominable snowman because he's a part of it.
You know, I'm just, I know they were thinking about it was either the courtyard or where Muppet Vision 3D was as the location for the Monsters Inc. line. And the original drawings, I think, was in, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was where they're putting it.
Yes.
I'm wondering how serious the talks got, if they were ever even serious at all, because all we heard were rumors about the courtyard, or was that just wishful thinking on a lot of Disney fans' part, hoping it would go there?
I think it was wishful thinking because they still have all the offices are back there.
Yeah.
And I think when push comes to shove, other than Mama Melrose's and Pizza Planet and the Muppet Vision 3D,
Vision.
there's a lot of space that are
There is.
just being
Yeah,
wasted.
the store really isn't open anymore at all.
Nope.
Stage 1 is open for holidays for holiday decor, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of space to just be open part-time.
See, now I know everybody mentioned the other portion of the courtyard by Voyage of the Little Mermaid, but they use that one space there for special events that they use for the Doc McStuffins and all that stuff. Or did she retire? She might have retired. It might be another little one in there.
with
Vampirina.
with a lot of fans speculating, hoping, wishful thinking that it wound up in the courtyard. I hope Disney's listening, because what does that tell Disney? It tells Disney that the fans that go to the parks want something else there. They're not happy with what's there.
Yeah.
So I
There's
really
nothing
do.
there.
Right, exactly. There's that playhouse, and I'm going to call it CRAP. I'm not going to say the word, but that's what's there.
Well, I mean, my kids loved that little dance show when they were little. They loved it. There were bubbles coming from the ceiling and streamers all over the place, and all their favorite characters. We haven't been in a few years because my youngest is 10, but they do need to do something with the courtyard. But
Mhm.
I think they still need to have a space for the Playhouse Disney, the Disney Junior kids who
Mhm.
are frequent in the parks with their parents. They want to see their favorite characters too.
They do. They
The
do.
heck with them. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Is that show even open right now? I'm asking because I don't see it. Is it Disney Junior Play and Dance? Is it open?
I
I
haven't
thought it
been in.
was.
I don't know.
Well, they listed Voyage of the Little Mermaid as well, and we know that's not open,
Right.
Right.
but it's not.
I know they still have the meet and greets.
Yeah.
You know,
They could do a meet and greet anywhere.
I think the kids love, well, actually, kids, adults of all ages love the meet and greets. But, do we have too many of them? In the park's not enough of them. I don't know. I guess it depends on whether you're a fan of them or not.
Hmm.
They do still have it. Disney Junior Play and Dance.
Okay.
No showtimes for today because it's closed,
Right.
but yeah, it's still listed.
So that's another problem with Hollywood studios. A lot of the shows end early.
By 4:30 some
Yeah.
of them. And that's rough.
That is rough. That's for a park that you're spending that kind of money for. And yes, it does have some great things in there: Toy Story Land, Star Wars Land, the Frozen show, and I can go on and on. It's Indiana Jones closes early all the time. Beauty and the Beast.
Mhm.
That's two people eaters right there.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they can't extend, if the Beauty and the Beast show is going to stay there, into the evening hours.
I missed the Disney. Sorry, go ahead, Lottie.
No, go ahead, Kurt.
No, I was going to say I missed the Disney Junior Play and Dance because it's listed in entertainment, and it literally has shows from 9:55 a.m. to 4:55, so it's every half hour. So it must be a 20-minute show, 10-minute cleanup, get out the vacuums, 20-minute show, because it's it looks like it's about every half hour ish. So that's why I missed it. They got actual listed times, and it's a lightning lane.
Wow.
You think it might be related to all those shows have live actors? I mean, I'm sure they
Yes.
could probably have like 2 sets of actors every day, so the shows can go in the evening, but that may be part of it. I mean,
It's like the Lion King show.
right.
You got the A team and the B team.
Oh, the guy that plays Sweetums, he's now unemployed. Like, what do you put on your application or your resume now that you were Sweetums?
He can easily go and step in somewhere else.
Ah,
They need tall guys. He could be Goofy now.
yeah. Looks like Bernie agrees.
Bernie was going to see Goofy.
Well, Bernie decided to say hello to whoever's coming in.
So what do we think if they put Monsters and Floor in Hollywood Studios? What is everybody's thought of what might go into the space? They still haven't used
Stitch's Great Escape.
Alien
It's just
Encounter.
Escape.
Stitch's Great Escape. What do we
Yeah,
think is
you're
going
right.
to go in there?
Maybe
That's
a
a good
Stitch
question.
stage show
They already have that.
for Stewart. No, they got rid of that. It was like 1 week and it was done.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they had a Christmas one. Oh, maybe it was
That's
just for the holiday.
It might have been
Yeah.
just for the holidays. The Monsters Inc. Laugh Factory, if they move it to Hollywood Studios, gives them the opportunity to put a show in there, a short show, to get people, quite a number of people in there.
Mm-hmm.
But then do you move, because you've got Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger, whatever that's called.
Space
Next
Rangers.
door to that, do you move that to the Hollywood Studios too?
Yeah,
somewhere?
that's Toy Story related too. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
Um,
they could easily put any movie back into that space. That's a movie theater when you get right down. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is a movie theater because that's where
Yeah.
they've had movies. That's where America Sings. What was it? Not America Sings.
You know, you know what I'd like to see going there. They'll never do it though. Pay homage to some of the old classic movies, like whether it be Bambi, Snow White, Cinderella. You know, put on a show that's a compilation of those classic movies.
In Tomorrowland?
Yeah, well, I know it doesn't fit. You're right. It doesn't fit at all. That's why I said they'll never do it.
No.
Unless you look back to the future. I don't know how they could do it.
Back to the
You'll have-
Future is owned by Universal, so it's not happening.
yeah, and McFly's not coming.
No. Trying to think if they could do anything with the new Disney Plus shows that are out there.
They could.
That's what they might do.
They could add Marvel.
Or maybe some of the movies that, maybe weren't as popular. They could try to drum up some excitement for those movies afterwards. What's the one that just came out with the Fire in the Water, and then there's the Strange World one, and some of the other stuff that seemed to be a little futuristic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Treasure
I
Planet.
think Kurt had a good idea there. They could put Marvel there.
But they can't because I don't think I
No.
don't think Marvel
They
can
won't.
come here.
They
They
can,
can.
as long as it's
We've
not the
got
license
them there.
part.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
certain
Guardians.
ones, it's certain properties
Guardians of
that
the
they can
Galaxy.
use
Yeah.
that were not a
could
part of
use
that contract.
Deadpool.
I could see.
Deadpool. Miss
I could-
Marvel.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Miss Marvel.
I
Yeah.
could see Deadpool going into where Stitch's Great Escape was.
Mhm.
I
Can
could
we have
definitely
the
see
adult
that.
version? Do we have to get the PG-13 or can we have the adult version?
Yeah, before 10 a, but from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. it's the PG version. Then you get the adult show at night.
9 to midnight? The
9 to
adult
midnight.
version?
Yeah. Trying to
Ryan Reynolds
think.
would do that. He would do it.
Yeah.
So-
I think it opens up a lot of possibilities, and I think that's what Disney wants. They look at us discussing it here. You think we're the only ones?
No, probably not.
You know, I'm sure the folks watching or listening to us at home are probably saying, "Yeah, you know, I would put this there. I would put that there."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think whoever comes in to take Bob Iger's place, if the decisions haven't been made already, and they probably will, could have a lot of fun thinking about and deciding what to put in a couple of empty spaces.
I keep saying they should just call me. I'll do the job. Like they can pay me half of what they're paying Bob Iger. I'll do it.
Exactly. They should.
Half. How about a quarter?
I'm worth half.
Okay.
He is worth half.
If you think he's got an easy job, think again. And if
I
you
don't think it's easy. I just think it's
I think the size of the company and to be able to oversee and hope that the people you have overseeing it are doing their jobs to the best of their abilities is very difficult to do. And I've seen companies much smaller fail because those responsible to get the deeds done of the many aren't
Were they
holding up to their responsibility to make sure they get done. So I've seen that happen in some places.
dirty deeds done dirt cheap?
We have a PG show here. Let's.
It's
I
an
wonder-
AC/DC song.
How about The Incredibles?
They could go in Tomorrowland. I'd
They
accept that.
could.
Yeah.
Because they're futuristic.
hmm
Retro futuristic.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I don't know. They've got that courtyard, that Pixar courtyard over at Hollywood Studios that they have a presence at. But you're right, they do need a ride at in Walt Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
Like Stuart said, you've got Toy Story Midway Mania over there already, anyways, and Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. You
Yeah.
pull the Laugh Floor, you could put another Pixar in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. And if they put Buzz, let's say they put Buzz Lightyear's space, whatever it is, in the courtyard someplace. Well, you could pick from another Pixar. Whether I'm trying to think who. But they
Coco,
could pick from Pixar as well. There's other things they could pick from.
lots they could do.
Yeah.
But a lot of decisions have to be made.
Yep.
If they haven't been made already, then we're just not aware.
They
Oh,
probably are their thoughts are probably down on paper, just that we just don't know about them yet.
Yeah, I'm sure. And then
By the time they announce it, there's already shovels in the dirt, right? They're not the plans are already made. They're not gonna announce something and then, fans are screaming like they can do something about it.
Right.
Well, they've done that before, because if you remember when New Tomorrowland opened, there was going to be the whole thing. It was basically it's a girls' Fantasyland. When the new Fantasyland opened, I'm sorry, it was literally here's going to be Tinkerbell, and here's going to be, Snow White wasn't part of it. It was someone else, and we're looking at that. And my kid's like, they're all princesses.
Yeah,
What
I
are we
remember
going to
that.
go on?
They forgot the boys.
And then they switched it, and they got rid of the Tinkerbell stuff, and that's when they put in Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So,
Mm-hmm.
which my son feels isn't worth the wait, so we haven't ridden it now in like 5 or 7 years, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. It was a good first coaster for Ava, but after that,
Right.
my kids haven't really ridden it either.
They just didn't feel it was worth the wait.
It's too
That was their
short.
opinion. Yeah, that was their opinion. So, and it's always got a just ridiculous line, as opposed to it's always way longer than Big Thunder Mountain. We'd rather do Big Thunder Mountain.
I'd rather do Big Thunder Mountain, yes.
there are a couple of things we forgot about. What about a Wall-E attraction?
Bingo. That's future.
Mm-mm. Are we gonna be overweight, sitting around in floating chairs, drinking protein
What do you
shakes?
are we? We're there already. We have the most unhealthy country there is.
Oh, yeah, we don't need a Wall-E attraction. No.
Oh yeah, Wally would be another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you could find some way to simulate the time when he was with the fire extinguisher out in space.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm.
Work on that. Come on, that's why you're getting the big bucks.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just the slow ride with Hello Dolly playing in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to look up another one that would be good for. I know there's one I forgot. I don't know why I can't think of the name. It was one of my favorite movies. Oh, Big Hero. That's not what I was thinking of, but Big Hero.
Oh, Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That
Marvel.
was cool.
That needs to go to Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And it is Marvel. So you're set.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, and you know what I would love to see? It'll never happen because I just don't see them doing it. The Rocketeer.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I think that Spaceman is sailed.
I thought they were making a remake, or thinking of making not a remake, but a reboot of it.
I don't know.
My
That's
kids
the only
need
way.
that is.
Yeah.
I love the Rocketeer, but that's just my personal
I
preference.
honestly have never seen it. I need to.
Great movie. Great movie. At least it was when it came out. I don't know how it holds up now. It's it's been years since I've seen it, but yeah, I think there's a lot of I think that's part of the excitement Disney's created with this announcement, the speculation and the hope of what may or may not come. And whatever they decide, whether we've thought about it or not, it's going to be great.
We know the new land going in is going to be really, really good. We know that. It's interesting how much they're pushing it back even more than what is there right now. So,
A question for you guys, because I'm not sure. I don't know. That disastrous hotel that they had, is that behind where they're putting?
it's on the other side of the access road.
Okay, all right.
I thought. I don't know. Here, let me look it up.
Because they could always
Please hold.
push the park into that space, into what was it, Galaxies, whatever.
Galactic Star Cruiser.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're going to do with that yet.
I heard there were some permits taken out to do some work
Yes.
there. I don't know what.
Yeah, but that could just be refurbishing it for office space. Who knows? They're not saying or telling.
It was on the other side of the parking lot, well into the forested area.
It'll be a
Okay.
PVC resort.
Yeah.
So there's really no way they
wish.
can expand the park into that area there.
So this. I tried to look it up on Google Maps. This is an older map because it doesn't even have that area built yet, and it looks like they're actually still building Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But I'm now looking back behind. It's called Cypress Drive. Is directly behind there, and that is going to go away.
Yeah.
Based off of what we saw. It looks like part of Melon. I wonder how they're going to do that. So it looks like beyond Mama Melrose's is where the Monstropolis building is going to go.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I wonder if they're going to squeeze it in.
It's going to make the area look bigger than it really is.
That's what they usually do with forced perspective.
Yep.
We have dates yet? Are we looking at what, 26 before this is open?
It has to be. They got so much stuff on their plate right now.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Absolutely.
And for those of you who are looking for a fifth park, I think you have to wait a couple of more years.
I think they've come to the conclusion that 4 parks is pretty solid. As far as their prices, people don't want to go to the 5th park.
Yep, I agree.
Absolutely not.
I think there will come a time where a 5th park will be built, but I think we're quite a ways away from that. I don't think it's with all the work they need and can do within the 4 parks. There's no need for a 5th park.
No.
Whoever thought they would expand Magic Kingdom the way they are? Yeah, they're basically putting the lands in the Magic Kingdom that you might have expected in a 5th park.
Yeah. So the lands in the Magic Kingdom, this Monstropolis, what's the other thing they're talking about doing? Something over at Epcot that I don't remember anymore. Oh, yeah. Now I'm looking at the map. Wow, I don't know how they're going to squeeze this all in here, but hey, they'll figure it out. Like I said, Cypress Drive and one of the parking lots looks like it's going to be. They're going to have to go into one of the parking lots. It looks like. Come on, Disney.
They've done that before too.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's wrap it up here. I think we've kind of given our opinions, expected this as much as we can without knowing any more than we already know. So on that note, I want to wish everybody a happy and wonderful and safe Thanksgiving, and always be safe, be yourself. Bye-bye.
Happy Thanksgiving. Good night, everybody.
See you real soon.
Have a magical night. Stay safe. Safe travels to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. See you real soon.